Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Valagar Aloevain. Alright, so in this one here, we're actually going to jump right into the second part of Waterworks. So we just completed the first part there, and again we used the same entrance here, the Clan Gnashtooth lair. This one is actually to rescue the first of the two brothers. Alright, now this one here, this is where it has that little trick. If you watched the last video where I mentioned that there's a little trick that I know. In order to do this trick, you do need two things. You need to have some sort of auto search ability, either True Sight from the Hidden Dungeon Master set here. Where is that? The DM's Vision set. And it basically gives us True Sight. In order to get that item, we need the Voice of the Master and the Mantle of the World Shaper. Now these two items were created by the two main founders of Dungeons and Dragons. So that's where it's the Hidden Dungeon Masters set, and I do like that little nod off to them. However, right now I don't need that. The second thing that we're going to need is some form of invisibility, be it a potion or a spell. And basically the way the trick works is you gotta run to the doors and use this True Sight. You don't open the doors. The kobolds will actually do that for you, but you gotta be able to get to the door fast enough to be able to search it before they get to you. So if they open it before you get there, you can't get the bonus. So it involves just running right past them and being invisible, and hopefully getting to those doors before they open them. So we're gonna jump right into this one. Let's quickly summon a hireling. Alright, here we go. So directly to our left we have some enemies. As you can see, a named enemy can also spawn here, and we were lucky enough to get them. As well as it does have a trap leading to this door. Now this trap is just a spike trap, easily avoidable for yourself. However, at the end of this quest we actually got to lead an NPC out of the quest, so it is handy if you remove all obstacles and traps, because he can die, causing you to fail the quest. So we're just going to quickly grab this control panel. Now on the other side of the door we're going to have a little floating platform, not floating, but a central platform here with a few kobolds on it, and 3 raised bridges. Now their bridge system, it works, you can only actually have one down at any time. So if we go to pull this one, it actually raises that one. You can go ahead and pull them again, but as you can see it doesn't actually do anything. So you just got to keep going and selecting which path you're going to go down. Alright, so the first path I'm actually going to take is not any of these 3. If we're looking towards the south, just underneath where this bridge is, there is a little wooden door. And we can swim down here. There is an optional here to kill some zombies. As well, it does have a fair amount of breakables in here. So I do recommend coming down this path. If you are worried about them, you know, doing too much damage to you, or you're not able to take it, you can always come back here in the water. What's going to happen is they're going to come in and try to get to you, and then they're going to immediately rubber band back to their initial spawning location. So what you can do is fight them as best you can. If they're getting the better of you, you can just hop right back in that water. You don't need to worry. Alright. And of course, with most optionals, we get a chest. Alright, and from that point, all that's left is to head back to our central path and actually continue on the quest here itself. Now, there are two ways up, or a few ways up. The first, you can actually jump and grab the edge here. Again, if you have enough jump. If not, once you swim up, in the top right-hand corner of the map, or the northeast section, there is a ladder leading up to the central platform here. Alright, so the next one that we're going to head down is I'm actually going to head down the side optional path. Again, this is completely optional and not actually required to come this path. It does have, again, a fair amount of enemies as well as a large amount of rings as well. So if you want to get that full bonus, which I definitely recommend, because as you can see, this quest is a decent amount of experience. So I definitely recommend heading down here if you can. It can be a little bit tough, so I do want to point out that it might be beneficial to come with a party. And there are two, and the only two shrines are down this way. So the first one is far south here, through a hidden door, and the other one is actually just all the way north there. If you can see up where the lost soul is, there is a doorway. However, the door's just not spawning in until we get a little bit closer. Just on the other side of that door there, it also has a second shrine. So there gives you two shrines. And again, this is the only side that has them. So through this door here, it does have an optional to free some enemies. Now this is an intelligence rune here. So just be wary of that.
Thanks you for freeing him.
Talk to them, get some free experience. Not a whole lot, but you know, every little bit helps. Now I do want to point out, now that we've done that room there, had kind of gone down this path, as soon as we actually head back to the right here to start leaving, it has respawned a few enemies. So there's a couple of kobolds as well. There are also a few wolves in here as well. So just be aware of that. As I know myself, those wolves can get you blindsided and they can do a decent amount of damage there. Alright. So behind these breakables there is a random chest. Now this one's always here. It's not tied to any optional or anything. It's just here and offers some free loot. Now in this room here, it's a fairly larger room. There's a reason I'm hiding behind the corner. That lever there, I've just highlighted in the back corner there, that actually controls this gate here. If you can see it, the little entranceway, there's little spikes popping down. It'll actually close and shut the gate in. Now, that gate is on a timer, so if you don't make it in, it will eventually reopen. There are
charging battery.
There are two methods to get into this room here. Of course, you can just rush right in and fight everybody in there, or you can sit outside and shoot them. Now, there is a kobold shaman that the first thing he does is he goes and pulls that lever. If you can kill him before he pulls that lever, the door will never close on you, unless, of course, you go and pull it. And on the other side of the room, let's see if I can see it. There is the gong here, and again, there will be a shaman there. He's gonna go ring the gong, which just spawns in a few extra enemies. And as you can see in here, there's also another named enemy.
You notice some
So we're
deep
just gonna
scratches along the wall that
killed that first one, and we killed the second one. So we didn't get any reinforcements, and he didn't close off the door. Now, I do want to point out that if you are wanting the conquest, or just kill and slaughter, we can actually go and ring the gong ourselves to have them spawn in. So as you can see, it doesn't really spawn in a lot. It just spawns in 3 extra enemies, 1 at each of those little sewer grates. And from here we have 2 chests. Nothing named spawns in either of these chests, so you don't need to worry about re-rolling them. But again, 2 free chests, can't go wrong. Alright, so now that we've completed one of the 3 sides, what happens is, actually this happens a bit before, that central platform, as soon as we pick one of these sides to go down, and we get a little ways in, it's actually going to spawn enemies that, in this central platform. So just be aware if you have any of your party members that are going AFK or stopping here in the center, as soon as you get a little ways in, it's going to spawn in a couple of enemies here. It's 2 warriors and 1 shaman. Alright. So now, it doesn't matter which path you pick, left or right, for this next part, as it does go in a giant loop. Personally, I always pick this path here, heading to the west, which heads to the upper part of the prison first. So I'm just gonna take out the enemies here. And just like before, these the enemies, they like to flank you. So now that we've killed them all, as you see, there's nobody here, nobody nothing. As soon as we actually approach over here, maybe we gotta actually pull the lever. Approach that valve there. It spawns in some enemies behind us. So just be careful of that. Alright. So the first thing I'm going to do here, so this is where my trick comes in handy, to get that extra secret bonuses. If you aren't able to complete that extra there, you will just have observance rather than the full vigilant sight bonus. Now in order to do that, we don't necessarily need to pull this lever here. Of course we do need to pull this valve though to open the door. This lever just opens up the side prisons, which we do need to do for the quest itself, just not for this trick. Alright, so I do have an auto search, but I'm also going to put on my Dungeon Master set just to make sure that everything goes off without a hitch. And then I'm going to use one of my potions of invisibility. Alright, so the trick comes in. We start in by running up top. The first door is actually just down here, directly to our left. This one's usually an easy one to get to after a moment. As you see, they open up the door. Second one is just up top, and there we are. That is the full bonus. The downside and the danger of this is, as you see, we do get a fair amount of dungeon alert. So be prepared to die. I know I have died a few times doing this trick. If you do have with a party, this is the perfect time for them to, run in and help. I personally, I like to fight around this side. That way if I do have party, they can shoot from up top and assist, or they can hop right down there and assist as well. That way. But now, as you can see, we do have the full Vigilant Sight bonus. And all that's left is to clear clear out the trash. More breakables to go. Now that we've cleared down this path, so this is where that other bridge leads us to. If we take the southern bridge, it would just lead us down to here. And again, it does that same ambush once you approach the valve here. Because, however, we came from this side and ran past it, and it already spawned that wave in there. So again, we need to pull the levers. And that'll open up all the prison cells here on the bottom. Now there is an optional here, which is these bedraggled prisoners. If we
the prisoner thanks you
talk to them, there are a total of 3 of them. And they're just located in these little cells here. Alright, so we do have ransack, we've got our sight bonus, we got conquest. Nothing left but to actually complete the quest. So minus these left though. So minus the extra prisoners there, Arlos will also be located in one of these cells. The other thing to point out, if you're looking up top here, in this cell right here with the gem, it has a named chest. This is the one that we got for killing the gatekeeper here. Basically the main prison guard. Alright, so there's our last bedraggled. And here's Arlos. So this guy, once we talk to him, he's just going to follow you. And again, it does state to not let him die. Now, this is where it gets a little tricky. If, however, you still have enemies left, I definitely recommend not talking to him if you still have enemies left to kill, because he will attempt to fight them. And he can die of failing the quest here. Alright. And the only thing that we got to do with him here is take him back to the beginning of the quest. So this is where, again, those spike traps, if you're not paying attention, you can run in, stop on one, and die that way. Same with the kobolds. If they run in here and you hadn't killed those other 3, he might end up running in and standing on the spikes trying to fight them, as sometimes, for whatever reason, they'll actually get stuck on top of the door. And from there, that's it.
Off towards the surface and safety.
Once you get close enough to the entrance here, he will leave, which actually then unlocks this valve, allowing you to just click on the rope here to leave, rather than recall. Of course, you can select recall there as well. Once you complete this part here, it is vital that you talk to Guard Temper. Without talking to him, it won't actually progress to the next part. Alright, now there are 2 ways that people get to this next part. There's the most common way, which is to recall, which will take you obviously outside, and then they would just turn around, step right back in, and then head on to the second part. I, however, am going to just run, as I want to check for those rares again. So the first again would be the spider now that we're working backwards. And here it is. Cool. So when they do die, they do drop the name chests, however, or rather the chests, however there is no name loot out of them. Alright, so the second one here It can spawn out of this door. That is the kobold. He has 2 locations. We were lucky enough where we got him here the first time. We didn't get him the second time, but we already got him, so I'm not going to worry about trying to get him there. The second spawn spot for that kobold is again down there. I'm not going to go into the swim because again we already have that rare. But if you're still looking to get them, you know, you can always go for that swim. And then again down here for the troglodyte.
Stench comes from the other side.
Nope, no luck. Alright. Now this actually takes us back to the main platform here. And all that's left is to head east. So this is that platform right from the beginning. So you enter in here, you make it direct east. This is for part 3 and 4. So we're just going to head back down here. And again, there are 3 more rares that can spawn on this side. Technically 4 if you count the spider, as it does have a spot on this side here as well. So the first one actually spawns just down here. You would need wisdom in order to get at this one, as it is located behind a wisdom rune. I believe the score is 14 wisdom, and we did not get him. This one here is a rust monster, but again, we were unfortunate enough not to be able to get him. So we're just going to leave and continue heading to part 3. Now I won't actually start part 3 in this video. We'll do that in our next one. But I do want to show you the rest of the rares here since we're right here. Alright, so the next one is again a kobold. This one again has multiple locations. The first location is right here, which you did not spawn in. Both of his locations are behind secret doors. Alright, the second one here is actually in the shrine room. And once we enter, it's directly off to our right. And he just spawns right here around the corner. If he does spawn, again, no luck for us. So we're just going to go ahead and leave. And continue on. Now this one here, again, right around the corner. And I believe this one is an intel room. There are a few gray oozes right when you enter. So just watch yourself. And this one here has a possible troll. Wow, we are getting no luck. So he'll spawn towards those bones. Now I want to point out, there is a trap over here. It doesn't have a trap box. However, if you step on this little button, it will set off the flame jet, which you can actually use to kill the troll if you're not feeling comfortable enough in your skills. Alright. And that would be it for the rares on this side. Those are the 3. Now, I did want to point out that the spider does have 2 locations. First, obviously, where we had killed it, down by part 1 and 2. The other one is just north right here, through this hidden door. And of course, he'll only spawn at one of the 2 locations, not both. And then from here, all we gotta do is go through the door. And here is the entrance to the next set. But I'm going to leave this video off here, and we're going to just jump right into it in the next video. So thank you guys all for watching, and I will see you guys later. Have a good one all.